Folks, it's 7:03, and we could probably go ahead and get started. It's like we've got pretty much the usual crowd for the most part. We might have some folks from Richwood joining. We were just talking with Rick Walker about that, so we'll see if anyone joins. If not, then we can just do our usual and talk about the news and happenings and what's going on in the EV world. I think it's been, we haven't had a coffee and EV since, I think it was the end of November, right before the holidays. Marty, I see you're back with us. Can you hear us? Maybe not. Well, hopefully he can get it straightened out on his end. Anybody got any topics for us this evening they want to throw out? All right, Mr. Hankins, go for it.
Hi, I'm Rep Hankins from Drive Electric Dayton. I'm the new president, and I wanted to say hello. We believe that Drive Electric Dayton should reach out to members from Ohio and Kentucky and Indiana and anywhere else. We're going to do a major event, and we're going to do the Cincinnati Auto Show, and it's going to be March 30th to April 2nd. And if any of your members like to come down and help us man the booth that we're doing, we would like to invite you down. And if there's anything that Drive Electric Dayton or Drive Electric Cincinnati can do to help our members in West Virginia, you can count on us. So I wanted to reach out, and as much as I can, I want to let you know that when you have meetups like this, I'll show up and participate and do what I can to be part of the family in West Virginia.
Well, we appreciate that, and I think we're all consider ourselves family as electric vehicle drivers. And pardon me, because I thought I knew that there was another gentleman from Ohio that's joined previously, and I thought you were him, but I think I was mistaken. But thank you for joining, and I'm sorry I didn't realize who you were at first. And we'd be happy to publicize any events that you guys are having, especially if you've got something going on at the Auto Show Cincinnati. I know that's probably not too far for some of our folks who live on that side of the state that might want to make a trip over to Dayton or Cincinnati.
And in other parts, it's extremely a long way away, but we do something else you might find fun. We do something called EV Out to the Ball Game, and it's EVs Out to the Dayton Dragons. And last year, we had $1 million worth of vehicles that came to the game, and we had a lot of fun. And I guess I should start over and say, I'm Rap Hankins from Drive Electric Dayton. I drive a Volkswagen ID4, and I love it. And I'm the new president of Drive Electric Dayton. So.
All right. I appreciate that. And I'm the president of WVEAA. So, Mr. Hankins, yeah, feel free to drop me notes, and I can share things on our Twitter feed, and we can publicize things on our email list for any events that you've got going on that our members may be able to attend.
And I'll come down and participate in your events, and perhaps I can beat up Electrify America and get them to start putting chargers, because when I try to go through West Virginia in my ID4, it's really, really hard.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, any help you can lend with Electrify America. We've written them and contacted them and shamed them on social media and everything else we can do. So, yeah, anything you can do to help with Electrify America, we appreciate it.
Well, I'll do the same on my end.
I have a question for Rep, if I may.
Go ahead, Rick.
Yeah.
In 2017, when I was considering the Chevy Bolt and went to the local dealer here, they said, well, did you go to the Charleston Auto Show last week? And I said, no. When's it coming back? They said, not till next year. But next week it's in Dayton. So I went to Dayton, saw the Bolt, fell in love with it, bought it in Frederick, Maryland in May of that year. But this year I said, I have cousins that live in Dayton, and they went to the show with me. So they said, we'd like to do it again. So I called up the Dayton Auto Show, and I was told they're not having a Dayton Auto Show, just the Cincy. They're not going to do it again until next year. Is that correct?
Well, yeah. Can I explain what happened? We were getting ready to do the Dayton Auto Show with one of our dealers, Jim Evans Volkswagen. Dayton the city of Dayton is remodeling the convention center. And when the Dealers Association said, they said, go on and have your event. And the dealers said, well, if something falls on one of our new cars, will you insure it? And the city of Dayton said, no, thank you. So the Dealers Association said, well, I guess we'll see you next year. So we were planning to do that, but I would think that Cincinnati's a lot closer for hopefully most of you than Dayton is. And the Cincinnati show is actually going to be bigger. And the cool thing about it is I'm actually, if you've seen the book EV for Dummies, I'm flying in the offer for EV for Dummies on Saturday and Sunday. And he's going to make presentations and sell his book at that time as well. So we're going to try to make it a big deal, and we're going to try to do some really cool things between Cincinnati and Dayton and Columbus. And we're already friends with Stu Unger in Kentucky and do stuff with Stu all the time. And if I can do stuff with Stu, I'd love to do stuff with y'all as well.
That's great. I mean, and in the past, I know we've actually kind of talked about it'd be nice maybe to do like a tri-state event or something, maybe over on that area where Kentucky, Ohio, and West Virginia all come together. I don't know if we could find a spot that would work out real well, but I don't know, maybe something to think about.
I have two plans that I want you to think about. I'm a hard worker and I don't sleep at night. One of the things I'd like to do is do a trip to Chattanooga to the Volkswagen plant. And if we go to Chattanooga, I would like to invite all of you to join us. If we don't do Chattanooga, I would like to do a Bourbon Trail event. I don't know if we can drive and do bourbon at the same time. But I would like to do something where we can put all our organizations together and we can look and touch each other. I think we have larger numbers if we're together as one organization in many respects than if we're separate.
No, I agree. And yeah, if you've got anything lined up like that, yeah, definitely let us know. I'm sure we've got some folks who'd like to participate.
And if your elected officials are like mine in Columbus, they ain't worth a quarter. So, especially when it comes to EVs. So I think it's important that we all lobby together on our state capitals and have the same message and see if we can do what we need to do. And I've spoken more than I wanted to, but I really want you to feel like you can count on us anytime when you need something.
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
You.
This is Scott Hamilton. My sister lives in Centerville, so we visit Dayton quite often on our way to Wisconsin. So I will, and we're actually planning on going up there Palm Sunday weekend. So we'll see if we can get to the show in Cincinnati, possibly early, like March 30th, that Thursday. So look forward to meeting you if we can arrange it.
We would like that. And I'm going to send you an invitation to our EV, our coffee, drive-in coffee that we do, cars and coffee that we do. And it's not, we don't do it with other non-EVs. Our cars and coffee is just with EVs only.
Okay.
Okay. I don't like non-EVs around my car, I have to tell you right now.
Let me ask a question because I'm old and dumb, but I've asked this of Robert before, and that is because of our we have a nonprofit status because of being connected to the national now EVA. Do we have to be careful about lobbying activities that we do? We can do suggestions and informational things, but where does that line draw between lobbying a congressman to pass a certain piece of legislation or a legislator locally to pass a certain legislation because it's going to help EV owners? Are we allowed to?
You are all citizens. May I please speak on that, please?
Sure, sure.
I'm not just Rap Hankins. I was council member Rap Hankins for 16 years in the city of Trotwood and on the board of the National League of Cities. You are not elected officials, you are citizens. And under the democracy of the United States, you have a right to lobby at any given time. As a part of the Electric Vehicle Association, we're all part of a nonprofit, but you're citizens of West Virginia the same way I'm citizens of the great state of Ohio. And there is no line when it comes to lobbying unless you take money from someone. And we're all volunteers, so you can speak at any time and as much as you want to speak, sir.
Yeah, as a citizen, I think we know we can do that, but we can't say we're representing the WVEAA. I think
Yes, you
we can
can.
go
Yes,
as
you can.
citizens.
No, yes, you can.
Yeah,
Because you're a
well, I
nonprofit
learned
and
something.
you're an organization. You can.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Now, what you can't do is slip a citizen, an elected official, $100 and ask them to pass a bill on behalf of the organization.
Well, the real lobbyists can't do that either. At least they're not supposed to.
Correct. So as long as you don't do that, because when I go to Columbus, I'm going on behalf of Clean Fuel Ohio and the Electric Vehicle Association,
Okay.
and you have a right to do that. Okay. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yes.
Okay. No problem.
All right. Well, I mean, as far as just, general news, I think you probably all saw on the feed that I sent out that we did a ribbon cutting on the new Chargers in Shepherdstown yesterday. That went really well. Had great weather for it for January. It was 60 degrees and sunny, and it was a beautiful afternoon for that ribbon cutting. We're hoping that we'll get something in the paper, but if we do, I'll forward that out to folks. But the library was really excited. The library staff, they've also designed the library to have solar installed at some point. They don't have the funds for it quite yet, but I was able to put them in contact with some other folks at Solar United Neighbors, and there's some possibility of some, discounts, funding, incentives through the new IRA legislation and some other organizations. So hopefully we can get them set up maybe with solar at some point too.
One thing, if I might add or create some discussion, we all know that there, back in 1997 or something, the Society of Automotive Engineers defined the charging levels that we use today. There were 2 AC and 2 DC. The DC level 1, there is none in the United States. We only use DC level 2. Now I know there's a no proposed standard. It's a recommended practice is what it is, not a standard for the trucks to charge at 1,000 kilowatts, because the maximum before was 400. Well, just in the last couple of weeks, let me go back and say that the AC level 2 maxed out at 19.2 kilowatts, which is 80 amps times 240. But recently I saw some charging stations AC by Blink that were 21.6 kilowatts. So I said, this can't be the high. And they said, oh, yes, it is. The Ford F-150 Lightning can charge at that. And so Blink has made for many Ford dealers an AC charger, 21.6. Now, it's not going to always pull that very much, but that's the maximum rated, and that car can accept it. Now, even when we had 19.2, Tesla was the only one that had a 19.2 kilowatt onboard charging module, the only vehicle that had that. And if talking to Marty and others, I think that they stopped putting those in that large of an onboard charging module in the vehicles. But since the Ford does have the wiring to handle 90 amps, the new max for the standard of AC level 2 is now 21.6 and not 19.2. I thought that was fascinating.
Nope, I had not heard that. So I mean, I was always working with a 19.2, but it sounds like 19.2 is the maximum, I guess, approved standard rate. Is that true?
Yeah,
Rich?
I don't know if the SAE has jumped on the changing the definition of the standard to make it the max 21 point. Yeah, I don't know, but I do know, and this is one of my things that I jump on. It doesn't do us any good to lump all DC charging from 24 to 350 kilowatts and call them all DC fast charging. Now that the AC level 2 at 21.6 is so close to the lowest DC, which is 24, I propose and suggest that we start calling the lower powered DC ones, call them DC slow charge. It's still faster than AC, but you just don't need to use DC FC for a 24 kilowatt station that they have. So I suggested that the 24s, 40s, and 50s kilowatts should be DC slow charge. The 62.5, 7500, 150, 250, and 350 should be DC fast charge. it's never going to go anywhere. It's just I'm spouting off my soapbox.
Well, and informally, I generally call them DC slow chargers. Quote slow charger. So
Yeah.
that's the same here. Marty, are you with us?
I am finally.
All right.
What a disaster. I forgot that I can't use my default browser. That I guess Google doesn't like it.
Well, yeah, if you use Chrome with this, it probably does work a lot better.
Yeah, it doesn't like Foxfire. Hey, Robert, a couple of days ago, you and I talked about bringing on guest speakers for our coffee and EVs,
yes,
for our online coffee and EVs. And I've rounded up 2 for later in the year. So far, Kelly Bragg will come and talk about what's happening in the state government, and Ron Freund, who Larry and Scott know, who's the past president of the National EV Electric Auto Association, now the Electric Vehicle Association. He was president for 17 years, and he'll come and talk about his 1996 RAV4 that didn't get crushed when they recalled them all, and he's still driving it. It doesn't have a lot of range, and he ends up switching batteries around a lot. But it still works after all these years. So, it doesn't have lithium-ion batteries. It has, I don't know.
It's probably nickel metal hydride.
Yeah, something like that. And it's a real challenge. But so every time I talk to him, he's just got out from under his car working, switching out batteries and stuff. But it's
by the way, Ron is one amazing person. He's a good friend of mine as well. So if he starts talking, he won't stop.
Who's that?
Ron Floyd is a really good friend of mine too.
Oh, he is? Okay.
And if he starts talking, he won't stop. So give him a lot of time.
Yeah, he can talk a lot. My favorite story is that I was out in California, and he took my wife and my dear bicycling buddy Lewis and his wife Giselle. He took us all down to the Tesla factory in Fremont for a tour. And as we're driving down there, Ron and I are sitting in the front seat, and the 3 of them are in the back. And Ron and I are just chatting along, and then we'll go, "Oh, there's a Volt. Oh, there's a such and such. Oh, there's an electric car. Oh, there's this one." And the people in the back were laughing so hard at us that because we just carry on our conversation and interrupt each other with the latest electric car we saw. So, and it was a lot blast. And then Larry was kind enough to take Ron and Marcia and I to meet his grandniece at the NASA Neutral Buoyancy Lab, and we got a tour of that facility down in Houston back in was it 2019? It was right before COVID broke out. Yeah, 2019.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Just saw something on Facebook about her. She's in Florida now, where they're working on the, I guess it's the Boeing capsule.
Oh.
Which, is not approved for launching people yet, but she was down there. She said, I said, I'm actually working.
Okay, that's great.
Had a picture of the capsule.
My sister's son married a woman who'd been previously married to have 2 children, and the daughter works for SpaceX, and she's actually been on TV talking about, and they go out to the launches and things like that. But she's working her way up through the business. She's not out there touching the machine, but she gets to get pretty close to get a picture. But it's kind of neat that she has that connection to SpaceX.
So if anyone else has any suggested speakers, if you know anyone else besides Ron in the EV area, let's try to get them on to talk about, or anyone local here in West Virginia. Maybe we can get one of the managers from one of the plugs we've installed to come and talk about how they feel about EVs after, maybe the guy from DNR.
There's a professor called Joseph Ortiz from Kent State University. He's one of the smartest people that I've ever met. He's the dean of science at Kent State University, and he can answer literally any question that you have. So if you could have him on, he'd be amazing.
Okay. Yeah, I think what we're looking for is a 10 or 15 minute talk to owners here in West Virginia.
We'll send you his personal information.
All right. Thank you, Rap.
Yeah, appreciate that.
And we could also send you the information for the gentleman who wrote the book EVs for Dummies, if you'd like to have him give a 20-minute presentation.
I didn't know there was a EV for Dummies book. I've used a lot of for Dummies books, but never seen that one. That'd be great.
By the way, if you, we're going to buy 100 copies of the book. So if your organization would like a couple, we can make that happen.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Send them to Robert.
Okay. I'll talk to the president about that.
Yeah, you can. We can work that out.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Well, a couple things before I forget. I did have a couple notes, things I did want to mention. So we got the auto show in Charleston coming up. And the DC America folks are going to be there with their display. Marcy, I was going to ask you if you got any type of favorable response for showing up with your vehicle.
I did not. He said they were full.
They were full. Okay. Mm-hmm. Just curious if they were interested in any others.
I was really excited about taking her too.
I bet. Okay. So we got that coming up February 3rd through the 5th for folks who are interested. Do stop by and see the DC America display and say hello to those folks if you're going to be there. Also, I got a note from Jim Morvay's wife, Katie. If anyone is looking for some WeatherTech mats for a bolt, she has the set from that bolt that she's, if you're looking to purchase a set, she'd like to, sell them. So if anyone's interested, you can let me know and I can put you in contact with her. And then also I saw a note today on our Twitter feed from Plug-in Sites. I get tagged on their stuff pretty frequently. And apparently there's a bill proposed in the West Virginia legislature to ban free charging at our state parks. So that is some proposed legislation, and I've got the number and everything, and I can send out to folks if I thought maybe something we might keep an ear to the ground on and see if it's actually going to go anywhere or not. I mean, it might just be one of those things that's proposed and gets shot down, kind of like that thing in Wyoming here recently where they were going to ban electric vehicles, and of course it didn't go anywhere. Yeah,
definitely send it through the Google groups if you would, Robert, so we can all contact.
What's the basis for that? Do you know?
Oh, I'm sure the typical thing about, they don't want everybody subsidizing free power for electric vehicle drivers kind of thing.
When Marty and I talked to, he mostly did the talking at the legislature a couple of years ago about having more stiff penalties for icing, for blocking this. And those legislators were just so idiotic. And one of the things said, if you're going to give free electricity, you need to give free gasoline to the people that have gasoline cars. That was their philosophy.
I hear. That's all I hear. It's insane. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll send that out to Scott, to everybody, and then so we can kind of keep an eye on it. I don't know that it'll actually go anywhere, but you never know.
The session is already short, and I've already called the legislature twice about other topics. But anyway, this will be another one.
Well, our best contact is the Delegate Hanson from Morgantown. I'll drop him a note and see if you could let me know what the bill number is.
Yeah.
Appreciate
He's
it.
the most environmentally conscious person probably in the legislature. Saw him on the legislature tonight, or whatever the program is, Legislature Today, the public broadcasting program that airs at 6 o'clock on the radio and TV, public TV here while they're in session. I'm just plugging that in case people want to keep up on what the legislature is doing.
That was nice of Lanny to send that to us. I just haven't been following any legislature. I don't want to go back there after the way they treated Rick and me that next committee meeting. They were. Hey, so a question about the thing this weekend. We've been invited to participate at one of the booths. Is that right? Is that the DC America booth that have our membership, people from our membership there? And
I had
was talking about attending, and Scott was talking about attending.
Yeah, I'm going to attend Friday.
Okay, and I just posted the bill number in the chat.
Okay,
but I'll send it out to the group too. And that was from Plug Insights. As far as the auto show, I had a chat with Rodney. I think it's Rodney Adkins at DC America, their marketing guy. And he was talking about how they were going to be there, and he encouraged our members to stop by, say hi, that they might even have some extra tickets, so stop by there, like before you go in, you might be able to pick up a free ticket if you haven't already bought yours. And, just say hi, and if you want to hang out and, talk to folks about electric vehicles around their booth and charging, they're happy to have folks around. That was pretty much the extent of the conversation, just sort of an invitation to have folks available and to share your experiences about EVs. So pretty informal. No, expectation that folks are going to be staffing or hanging around specific hours or anything like that.
Oh, so okay. I misinterpreted what you're looking for. I thought you want folks to come down and hang out at their booth, but if not,
I mean, they're open to it. If you're going to be there and you'd like to spend some time, they are welcoming you. But there's no expectation that we're setting up a schedule and folks are manning anything.
Okay.
Sounds like we got several who probably will go to the auto show. I don't know if there's going to be many electric vehicles on display, but maybe we'll have a few. If there are any, take some photos.
I will do that and share them.
Yeah, I'll be there
Mr.
Friday.
President, where did you get your legislation information from again?
From Lanny at Maryland, the Plug Insights. It's a Maryland group.
Yeah, let me put the his Twitter handle. If you want to follow him on Twitter, let me put that in here. It's at Plug Insights, and he follows a lot of the legislative stuff that's going on. I think it's pretty much countrywide, and or Marty, correct me if I'm wrong, but he follows a lot of legislative happenings to do with electric vehicles, and if he sees something happening in a state, he will tag a state group and kind of let them know that there's something percolating.
Thank you very much.
Lanny Hartman's his name. Yeah, and like we had a little celebration when the Princeton supercharger opened, and he and his wife actually drove down from Columbia, Maryland to be there for it. So,
and that's a little bit of a hike.
Yeah, his wife actually is in this competition for the most superchargers visited, and she's number 12 on the list, which means that she has to have gone to at least 1,500 superchargers, different ones.
Wow.
All over the country, all over North America. It's a North American thing. So some people, the guy on top has visited more superchargers than there are in the United States because he's gone to Canada and Mexico too. It's crazy. I can't. I mean, you must get up every 3 months. Said, well, and he lives in California. Well, better go to Maine tomorrow.
I watched a video this last weekend, and they talked about Tesla, things that are happening there. And this, you never know it's true, but I think it was true. And they said that over this last summer, they made their 7,500,000,000th cell for EVs and or for the Powerwall things, which is enough for every person in the world to have a little cylindrical cell of their own. They've surpassed that number.
I'll say in superchargers, I don't know, Marty, what are we up to in the U.S.? I know it's
1,645.
Okay.
You mean like this? That's what is it?
2170.
2170, yeah. I have a whole bunch of them.
Speaking of West Virginia chargers, has anybody been by Weston recently and seen what's going on?
March. What the sign said, it'll be reopened in March when the Sheets is finished rebuilding.
Okay.
So, wrap up. Where do you live? I'm afraid I don't remember.
I live in the great city of Trotwood, Ohio. It's first-tier suburb of Dayton.
Oh, okay.
We're the largest African American community in Southwest Ohio.
Oh.
And up to about 3 months ago, we had no chargers in our community. That's why I got involved with EVs, because I lived in a community with 30,000 people and no charger.
So are you over there near Wilberforce?
No, I'm actually about 45 minutes from Richmond, Indiana.
Oh, okay.
On 70.
So you're on the other side of Dayton. Okay.
Totally on the other side, correct.
Okay.
So close to the Inglewood supercharger then.
Exactly. The Inglewood supercharger is 5 minutes away from me at Myers.
Okay. Well, that's one that we've stopped at many times.
And I charge at the Electrify America in Hoover Heights.
Okay.
Yep. And you sound like most of you are Tesla people, and I just wanted to say that this year we traveled from Trotwood to Toronto, Canada, and back on Electrify America with no problem.
Well, that's great.
That is great to hear.
I have friends in Chicago that love Electrify America's network too. They have a Bolt, but you see a lot of bad publicity about them. And although we've been bending their ear for half a decade now, they won't put anything in West Virginia, because guess who caught Volkswagen cheating?
West Virginia.
Yeah. We're not all we're about half of us are Tesla drivers.
I was looking at something that just said that you're going to get Electrify America in 2025.
Yeah, we've seen that's on their roadmap for 2025.
Right.
That's a long way off.
Let's see if we can speed that up, okay?
Yeah, exactly. And there's a great place, since they work with Walmart. There's a great Walmart location right next to a supercharger in Morgantown. I mean, we think that'd be a great initial place to start. We'd like to see them in some other places too, but if we're going to choose one place to start, that might be a good place to start.
Well, I know what Morgantown is. I've been there multiple times, and I love the area. Matter of fact, I love the area, so I'd love to be able to travel there in my car.
That's right, and it's you got 68, 79 interstates meeting right there in Morgantown, and that Walmart is right there at the intersection of the two interstates. It's a great location.
Well, why don't we see what we can do as two organizations together, because it's better that we start yelling as one organization instead of you yelling by yourself, okay?
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Matter of fact, I'll make a call tomorrow and complain.
So Dayton area is one of my favorite places to go on vacation, because of the really great bicycle network that you have going all over that area. There's more than 200 miles of bicycle trails, and we usually stay in Xenia, where they all come together. But
I'm on the planning and zoning board for the city of Trotwood, which
Okay.
means I'm part of the Miami Valley Regional Planning Commission. We have more bike trails in the Miami Valley than any place in the country, even more than Oregon.
Yep. There's
Yep.
a lot of them. You can go just about anywhere in Southwest Cincinnati, Dayton, just about anywhere.
And we're expanding them every day. So
Yep.
we're gonna have to spend some time together between Morgantown and Trotwood. I think we need to do a meetup and have some fun.
Okay. Well,
You've got a great state park right outside of Morgantown. It's a gorge that we stop at all the time, that we used to stop at, that you could actually look over and just love the area there.
Cooper's Rock.
Yep, love Cooper's, exactly. I want to go back, so can I have a charger, please?
Robert, can I show a screen here? What do I do? Click that thing at the bottom that says little arrow, says present?
Yeah, present now.
What I'm going to do is switch to a plug share picture because I wanted to, well, I'll tell you first the story. I watched another video that was really talking about how the African-American community is not served. And he said, as an example, look at Richmond, Virginia, which has had redlining for hundreds of years. And so I went and actually researched it myself, the chargers in there, and then the districts within the Beltway that are predominantly African-American and those that are not. So if I hit this, do you all see, let's see, present my entire screen and then go to plug. Y'all can see that, Richmond?
No,
Not yet.
let's see
You may have to choose the window or the screen if you've got multiple monitors.
Yeah, let me see if I did it wrong. Oh, I see. Okay. I have to hit share.
Yeah.
Share the entire screen. Nope, not letting me do it. What am I doing wrong?
Do you need to make him some sort of co-host?
Yeah, so
or
I was just thinking that
enable?
I might need to enable something. Let me see.
Well, if you want to pull it, Robert, if you want to pull up plug share and just
I can do that.
do it on Richmond.
Yeah.
Because I can't seem to do it.
Richmond, Virginia.
Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah.
All right, here.
I was going to use my mouse to show you, but you'll know where inside their beltway are the black communities.
So we're looking at Richmond, you said?
Yeah. And you have to change your filters to pull up the ACs also.
So you just want to see, what do you want to see? J plugs?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, that upward right-hand side there, north of the interstate going out to one, that's an African-American area, and the two southern ones here are, and look at every single one of the AC chargers are up in that corridor in the northwest and due west. And I was just amazed. I contacted Jerry Gilbert about that, if he would look into it a little bit, because he lives in Richmond now, and he said, yeah, they're making great strides to eliminate some of the segregated neighborhoods, but they're segregating on the basis of who has access to an EV charger. So I compliment Rap on doing everything he can to bring that to people's attention and see what we can do to fix it.
Well, so can I actually give you kudos, because one of the things that the Miami Valley Regional Planning Commission just did was to allocate $1.5 million in the Miami Valley to deal with the question of the lack of equity. Because if you bring a plug share and you put in 45426, and that's my zip code, you won't see one level 2 charger anywhere within 30 miles. So we're actually changing that all over the Miami Valley. And our goal is to change it all over the state of Ohio. And our motto is EVs for all. And one of the things that Tesla owners have finally done for me is I'm no longer criticizing Tesla owners, because with the reduction of the cost to the Tesla Y, it seems to me that anybody that wants EV probably can afford to at least start looking at it. So I'm excited about that. And I'm actually recommending the Tesla Y over the Volkswagen ID4 right now because of cost.
Well, and I think also another thing that's happened with some of the prices on the new electric vehicles coming down, like the Model Y, and Ford just lowered the price on the Mach-E's some. And it's also forcing down the prices on used electric vehicles. So I think we're going to start seeing a more robust used EV market with longer range used vehicles that are more affordable.
The problem is in Ohio there are no used EVs.
Okay. So hard to come by, huh?
There's absolutely none. I mean, if you want a used EV, you have to go to California and have it shipped to Ohio.
Wow. Okay.
Used EV.
I did not know that. I would have guessed Ohio would have had a larger, with the population of Ohio, I would have guessed they would have had a greater selection of used ones.
No, everybody's buying brand new vehicles here, and
Hmm.
it's amazing the Teslas that are being bought here and the Volkswagen ID4s. But as far as used EVs, as soon as they're used, somebody snaps them up. So there's not a used market here.
Wow. Okay.
But
are you familiar with that? Oregon offers tax credits on used EVs, so they have a vibrant market.
No, sir, I'm not.
Yeah, one of the few states that does do tax credits for used EVs, or at least they used to. And so as you know, even as they go down in range, people will snap them up for short range trips and everything. Some of the old Leafs.
Now we've got a national credit for used EVs. In the new IRA legislation. Of course, it has to be sub $25,000 to qualify.
Right.
For the $4,000 credit.
Yep.
Well, now you're addressing a sore point of mine. I am not a fan of the NEVI program because I felt like the IRA program because I felt like it punishes underserved communities. Honestly, I'm in a minority in that one, but.
Well, I mean, it's certainly not perfect, and I have my own qualms with the legislation, but I mean, I guess I think we have to kind of take what we could get for now. It was better than nothing, and hope that we can do better and help refine it and improve it going forward.
You're right, but I think I prefer the old tax credits, and they're gone, so I need to quit complaining and live with what we have. Mr. President, you're absolutely right. But I get to complain about it every now and then.
I hear you.
Because your representative in West Virginia is not a friend of mine. So. No, yours, I would believe.
He's not real popular with a lot of folks.
See, I know I'm at home with family because we feel the same way.
And Rapp, I actually ran into him at a local Kroger's and talked to him shortly before the IRA Act came out. And I said, we need to do something. And he says, give us some time. We're working on it. And it's like, something did finally come out of the sausage making machine.
You ran into Mansion?
Yes, at Ashton Place.
Oh my God. Really? Okay.
Yep. And I took a double take and came back and circled back and talked to him for about 3 minutes at the self-checkout.
So you mean he can really talk? Oh.
Yeah, he could talk.
All right. Well, I'm not a fan. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not saying I'm a fan, but I did a little you can call it lobbying or whatever at that point. So I was.
Okay, Rick,
go ahead.
You have something?
Yeah, two quick things before, because it's getting to be 10 up.
Yes,
the deed at Marshall Drive Electric Earth Day is probably going to be Wednesday the 19th. So if you want, it's that week from the 16th to the 22nd is all of Drive Electric Earth Day, but the Marshall plan, and it's probably going to be similar to what it was last year. And we'd certainly like everybody to participate if they can. Now,
April 19th?
April 19th, yeah.
Okay.
And the other
Can
thing
you get a better location?
I'm going to try. I'm going to try. I sent an email already to Amy Parsons White, and she didn't respond. I said, can we talk about where we're going to be placed? Because now I think it was partly because that was the only place she could put the DC America charging skid coming up that concrete driveway. They can't put it over there in the grass by the fountain. There's no way they can get that there. So she either has to have us separate or she has to have us over there with them. But it was not as good for the number of people stopping by as it was the year before.
The other thing I wanted to ask is, should we plan something somewhere else besides Marshall? Marcy, do you have any ideas for the Taze Valley? Could we do something in Taze Valley? you have where we could run a drive electric event this spring or this fall?
I am sure that I can come up with one, just not off my sleeve right now. But yeah, I would absolutely, I'd love to look into that.
Okay, I think that would be great if we could find something in Tays Valley to. We did South Charleston several times, and it didn't work. I don't think it worked out that well. Other than club members, we really never attracted that many people. And
yeah, there's a lot of owners down here, so yeah, absolutely.
Well, but I think if you're again, I think we've talked about this before. The challenge is you need an event, a community event, where the community is going to be likely coming to that area anyway. If you've got an event you can work with and co-locate with, like a festival, a parade, or a homecoming day, community day, anything like that, where you're going to have crowds of folks and you can get located nearby, then that will work best. Because if it's just a standalone event and you're advertising it in a parking lot somewhere, it's just going to be the folks who hear about it that show up. You're not really going to be able to pick up foot traffic,
right?
Organically.
Great example of that was Multicultural Festival up near Parkersburg.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that was good.
Yeah, we
do with Marshall with Earth Day. It's not Drive Electric Earth Day to them. It's just Earth Day, but they've got 17,000 people there within 4-hour period.
Yeah, we tried. We actually scheduled the same weekend as the Arts and Crafts Festival in South Charleston, but we were 4 blocks away from it.
I was going to say the problem was you were just too far away.
We were too far away, and we could never get a closer site. City of South Charleston actually wanted to move us another mile away, so they wouldn't have to fool with us.
We have the Putnam County Fair. Have you all ever done anything with that?
No,
but that would be great. It's a different time of the year, but it'd be perfect.
Yeah, different time of the year, but it's huge.
I did something for Sun America on that, the Sun WV or whatever. I was there once, but never for.
Marcy, if you know somebody associated with that fair, and we like to do it around Earth Day or National Drive Electric Week, but if it doesn't line up, I'm thinking and you've got a connection or can find somebody, and we can get a spot, and it's reasonable. If there's a cost and it's reasonable, then it's certainly something we could look at.
Yeah, the reason we do with National Drive Electric is because you get support from those advertisers, the national advertisers, and you get signage and stuff like that. But that just may not be what we need. We need to be at an event.
Yeah. We went to Putnam County Fair, and they would have loved to have had an EV display. And we also went to the Pumpkin Festival in Milton, and that was huge. And they would have loved to have had an EV display there too.
Yeah.
And Kanawha County also has a county fair in the fall sometime. Well, I work all those. I'm pretty sure Putnam County and Kanawha County are different days, weekends.
Oh, Stephanie, do you want to speak?
No, it's Scott. Hey, it's somebody else's. Come on now.
I'm sorry.
Hey, so I'm looking at thing coming up in Hurricane. April the 22nd, they're having over to Elnor, they're having a food truck festival. So that's something in Elnor, which is just right around the corner from Tays Valley.
You said April 22nd?
April 22nd, they're doing a food truck festival over there.
Well, that's kind of right on the heels of Earth Week then, right?
It is the last day of Earth Week. That is actually Earth Day. The official Earth Day is the 22nd.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Saturday. They're doing the festival from 1 to 6.
And I'm going to check into just as a future option. I do a lot of things downtown. Charleston really has a really good presence now. arts and crafts and just activities and things like that. I go every Friday to Live on the Levee. And I mean, they have a car show also in the summer. So there's several things I want to look at, maybe being present for. But
yeah. And then I know we've done the doo-wop on the boulevard.
Yeah.
Marty, you've done that before. I know several folks have participated in that.
Yeah,
it sounds like we've got some options.
Anymore.
Yeah, doo-wop is no more.
Oh, okay.
When the weather gets...
So there's a different car show then, I guess, on the boulevard or something?
No, I was talking about the doo-wop, yeah.
Oh,
well, the guys that put it on felt they were getting too old. But, you know, that was such a great event for the city of Charleston. It may come back. Hey, Rap.
It's pretty big. Yeah.
And, of course,
Juneteenth celebrations in West Virginia.
Not that I've heard of.
Because we have something called the Dayton African American Cultural Fest that we did last year. We actually showed cars to about 10,000 African Americans, and a couple of those folks are actually buying Teslas now.
Okay.
So,
what's the thing at the Capitol, Marty? Or you guys? What's the big cultural thing? Is it called the Cultural
Multi-Fest?
Is it
Vandalia gathering Memorial Day weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah, Multi-Fest, Vandalia Fest. Well, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I always go to these kinds of things, and they have such a huge turnout. Yeah.
Yep, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I want to mention that the weather's at times hasn't been a terrible winter, but as the end of February, March comes around, we might want to have a in-person coffee and EV, just not do it on the same night as that we're not going to do it on Tuesday night.
Oh, yeah. Right, do it on a Saturday or something.
The Saturday before, the 25th of March or the 25th of February. If the weather, and you can do that at the last second, the weather co-op. Marcy and I were at one at Valley Park in Hurricane, and we had a wonderful time.
Yeah.
Well, I'm planning on doing one up here. And Rap, by the way, I'm over in the eastern panhandle of West Virginia. I'm over near DC. So I'm on the extreme eastern part of the state. So I'm planning on doing a in-person coffee and EVs up here come, late March, maybe early April, whenever the weather cooperates. So if you guys want to think about doing one down in the central part of the state, I think that would be great.
Yeah, we need to see Jeff's new Red Lightning, and I don't think Scott has shown off his blue Kia yet. So.
That's right. Need to get those things out there.
Have you all seen the new EV, the new Hyundai Ioniq 6?
I haven't seen one in person. I haven't seen one in person yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen one in person either, but it looks pretty sharp.
I'm actually thinking about. Here's a kind of a funny story, real quick. There's West Virginia only has one Royal Farms location, and it's up here in Martinsburg. And Royal Farms, if you travel in the Mid-Atlantic area, they're like Sheetz. The Wawa and Royal Farms are the big, gas station, convenience store things like a Sheetz in the Mid-Atlantic. So we've got one over here. It's pretty new. And so at this Royal Farms that we go to pretty frequently, they've got the best fried chicken, by the way. If you see a Royal Farms, you need to stop and try the fried chicken. But there's a Tesla that's always parked on the corner of this thing. It's a red Model Y, and it's got Maryland tags, but it's always parked there. And so I've been trying to find out who owns it and if it's a manager at that store, because it's always parked there. And if I could find the owner, I want to see if we can do an event at the Royal Farms at a gas station for electric vehicles. So they have a lot of traffic coming in and out of there. People filling up with gas, but also buying chicken and, convenience store items and stuff. So it's a pretty busy location.
I was at a Royal Farms on our last trip back from Texas that had a supercharger at it.
Oh yeah, I stop at a Royal Farms with superchargers over in Maryland and Delaware all the time. It's just this Royal Farms doesn't have one, but it's not too far from the Sheetz that has our supercharger over here.
Yeah, and you're right. I actually preferred the Royal Farms. They had a nice eating area, and their food was pretty good.
Have you guys seen the new dot card? I'm assuming it's new, but it's an electronic. It's an electronic business card. We were talking on the last meeting about people, getting business cards, etc. But it's actually just this little electronic cards you keep in your wallet, but you program it with whatever data you want. So it would have, for example, would have my email address, the WVEAA email address, our website, our Facebook group, and all I do is hold it to the back of someone's phone that I meet and I'm talking to, like at a car show, and all that data gets downloaded into their phone in one little swipe, and you don't have to buy cards and hand them out. It's pretty cool, and it's $20. And I think I'm going to get one instead of getting business cards.
Yeah, give it a shot and see how it works. I know I've ordered just plain business cards myself for up here, but yeah, I'd be interested to hear what your experience is with that and how people take to it.
Okay.
You can practice on our phones.
Yes, I can. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're getting a couple minutes till 8, so we're about ready to wrap up. Any last minute items for the good of the order?
Hey, Kelly mentioned something about us doing a website for her, getting paid for it.
Yeah, she's mentioned that in the past. It's setting up a Drive Electric West Virginia page or set of pages, possibly using our website as the hosting place for it. And she was talking about some grant money. Having worked in state government and knowing what some of those processes are like, I just told her we need to talk about that some more. Little concerned with, we are not an actual nonprofit, and having to run things through a national organization and the paperwork with state purchasing and signing off on things to get paid and the rigmarole you have to go through for that. So I'm not saying it's not doable. It's certainly doable. It's just we'll have to work out the logistics of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see it be a real pain in the neck.
I mean, the actual work, I wouldn't mind doing it. It's just I don't want to spend hours fighting with state government entities and our national organization, which seems to be kind of difficult at times tracking financial details. And this would get way more involved than just our typical financial details.
Mr.
And
President,
Rap seems to be agreeing.
We have a new treasurer, though, and things are getting a little bit easier to get things done.
Okay.
So if you're looking at doing stuff like that, we'll help you and make sure it gets tracked properly.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, Jeff, did you get your lightning in?
I did. Yes. They don't send you a charger until you get the car,
pictures?
So.
We want a picture.
On Facebook.
Yeah, I don't do Facebook. No social media for me.
Oh, I don't know. Can I share them?
How do you like it?
I love it. But you know what's really weird? I haven't driven it a whole lot. But I thought I was on top of these things, but I guess I missed the memo because I went to looking for a heated steering wheel. And I guess Ford eliminated or did not install, they didn't have the chips to control the steering wheel. And the steering wheel is supposedly it will be able to be retrofitted. Mm-hmm. But I had no clue, and I'm going to call my dealer tomorrow just to see what that is all about. But that's the only thing that kind of jumped out at me. They've kind of changed some things, but I love it so far. It's amazing. I've already given all the family the acceleration Walt Disney World trip. So,
yeah, my wife
always popular.
My wife and I drove a F-150 Lightning, and they are great if you need a pickup and everything. So, good luck with it. Enjoy it. Sometime when we meet, I'll tell you the story of where a F-150 reservation I had actually went to someone else who really is going to enjoy it.
That's great.
So, because he needed it.
You think they can fit my Tesla in the back of it?
No.
Do you guys follow Kyle Connor? Do you see that Twizy he did? Loaded in the back of a Rivian and hauled it back from Michigan to Colorado. Oh my gosh. It's hilarious.
No, that one I didn't see. I've met Kyle a couple of times and talked to him on the phone, but I don't watch every one of these videos. They're
they're so entertaining. Today he's got a review of a Bronco. What's on his personal channel? A Raptor Bronco that he does a road test by driving it the way most people would drive their Bronco, and that's going to Starbucks. So,
is he a millionaire?
I don't know. I think his dad's well off, and I'm not sure where he came upon some money. But yes, it seems like he has an unlimited resources.
Well, they used to own a race car track in North Carolina. So
okay. I've heard him talk about the track.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was there. So yes, okay.
Yeah,
I think he's a millionaire.
Well,
and I find that a little bit disgusting, honestly.
Kyle makes quite a bit of money on his YouTube channel.
Yes. I bet he does.
Yeah. He's doing all right.
Jeff, you threw me when you said I haven't driven it that much. I mean, what? I've got 15,000 miles in 6 months.
Oh my gosh!
You gotta drive that thing.
That's right.
I know. I'm hoping.
I'd like to 6,003.
Yeah.
Oh, and Rap, before I forget, we do, as of mid-December, we finally do have one real CCS charger in West Virginia in South Charleston. So if you're coming to Charleston, you actually have a fast charger you can use.
Where's it located in Charleston? What is it?
It's a charge point CCS at the Joe Holland Hyundai in South Charleston.
It's very close to the downtown area of South Charleston.
Close to the interstate, 2 plugs.
Is it 150 or is it the 50 charge point?
It's the 62.5.
Oh, okay. That's better than nothing.
It's better than the 24s, but yeah, it's still not 150 or anything.
It's after 8 o'clock, and I don't want to keep you, but I want to say thank you for letting me be a part of this. I really have enjoyed it, and I'm going to come back because your club is amazing.
Well, thank you. We appreciate it.
Rap, you're amazing as well, and thank you very much because you've taught us a lot, and I look forward to meeting you. I hope we can when we come through the Dayton area and then down to Cincinnati. Thanks very much. And also, I put something in the chat. There was an annual Juneteenth celebration in Charleston on June 18th of last year, and presumably they'll do it again. It was at the West Virginia State Capitol Complex. So I put the link to it, and you can watch it and see if there'll be another one. And that might be another event that we try and have a presence for our EVs.
I think it's a great idea for equity.
Yes, I agree.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for letting me be a part of this, and I will see you next month if I'm allowed.
All right. Appreciate everyone joining.
Well, you're always allowed from our point of view.
That's
Well,
right.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it, and we will see you all next month.
Late February, whatever the last
Tuesday in February.
Oh, it's the 28th.
It's the 28th.
Yep.
See you. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
See you guys.